What's going on, everybody? I'm back again with another vlog, and today I'm back again in Queens, New York, and I'm gonna explore the neighborhood of Sunnyside right by the 7 train. It's a residential area, but it has a couple of streets with nice restaurants, nice shops and stuff, so it's a really lovely neighborhood that I think a lot of people, they don't know much about. I passed by a couple of times when I was doing a couple of videos around the streets in Queens, but now I'm gonna dedicate a proper video for the neighborhood of Sunnyside, so I'm gonna take you guys with me, so join me. Once you get off the 7 train, there's a couple of stops like 40th Street, 46th Street, and then it's mainly residential. You're gonna see like some historic buildings like this from the old style that gives you like a little bit of a European vibe. So there's two divisions of the neighborhood. So I'm doing one side, and then once I'm done with this side, I'm gonna go to the other side and show you like the strip. So here you see like an entrance of the apartment complex. Pretty beautiful, you know. And I like the way how the street is covered with trees. So it has like a tree row. Yeah, it's a tree row, tree-lined street. So it helps out because today is like really hot, over 90-something degrees, but with the trees it helps it cool down a little bit. But so far I'm loving the brownish of the streets, how it looks like. Like I say, it's mainly residential. This is only like one portion of the neighborhood, so I'm gonna try my best to cover most of it. And also, like any neighborhood in New York City, it is bike friendly. You can see it over here, like some bike lanes, like one of the avenues, you know. And all of this is like, you know, a lot of apartment complex over here. And I think this area still stays a little bit on the affordable side. And it's about, it's not too far. I would say like probably like a 15-minute commute from Manhattan once you hop on the 7 train. Then over here, like I said in many of my videos, a lot of neighborhoods in Queens look like this with all the residential area. And it's crazy that this is only like a couple of blocks away from the main street or from the subway line, but you would never imagine that it turns like really quiet like this. But really loving the vibe, you know, the houses and stuff is really beautiful. Then if you go to the end, there's another section of this neighborhood, Sunnyside Gardens. So this is more like the residential side, but like I say, at the end of the video, I'm gonna walk to the main strip and show you what the streets with the restaurants and stores look like. But this is a lovely neighborhood so far. I gotta say, so far, really beautiful neighborhood. Even the main avenues I was walking by, they're covered with trees, you know. Look at this one, it's like if I'm walking under a tunnel of trees. With all these beautiful houses and stuff. And I believe in the fall season, it must be beautiful when the leaves start turning in red or orange color. But yeah, this is just amazing. And I've never been in this part. This is actually my first time. But like I said, that's the beauty about exploring, and that's one thing I like about New York City, that I go to different neighborhoods and you just feel like a tourist, you know. There's so many options over here, so many things to do, so many things to see. So I gotta say, it's so crazy that this is just 15 minutes away from Manhattan, but it's such a different vibe over here, all this nature, all the houses, and it smells really good. I can smell like the trees, the pine trees, a lot of vegetation over here. So like a little hidden gem. And you know, this area over here kind of borders another section called Woodside, which is part of the Queens. Then Roosevelt Avenue is not far from here. Actually later I'm gonna walk for Greenpoint, which is in the Sunnyside, and once it goes to the other side, it turns into Roosevelt Avenue. But yeah, look at it, so beautiful, and you can hear the birds and everything, the nature. So far I'm loving it over here, really beautiful. I gotta tell you, this even feels like you're in New York City, and I can see the Long Island Railroad over that side. And this is an historic district, as you can see it in brown, the signs. It says the Sunnyside Gardens Historic District. But I really love the fact how there's so many nature over here, the trees, everything, how beautiful the streets are. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with the trees over here. Like, look how tall they are, the branches of the trees. It kind of resembles a little bit some parts of Flatbush in Brooklyn, which I made a video over there a couple of years ago. But yeah, I'm really, like I say, this is kind of, it also has like a little bit of a vibe of Forest Hills, which is in Queens a little bit further, but yeah. Like I said, this is literally only a couple blocks away from the subway train. But then once I cross to the other side of the subway train, it's a different type of vibe. In a good way, of course. But it's crazy how even a section of Queens is so diverse. One side could be different from another one. But like I say again, the beauty about exploring, you know? Get out of your comfort zone and don't be afraid to explore new things and try new things out. And then beautiful apartment complex, and they even have their own parking spot. Like I say, a lot of neighborhoods in Queens have buildings that look like this, like brick buildings. And I've never been to the UK, United Kingdom, but I've seen pictures of some apartments and they look just like this. Like the same vibe, so it's beautiful. And also another cool thing about this neighborhood, and many neighborhoods surrounding around here, is that they have, I would not say like an alleyway, but they have like streets like this that connect you to another side of the street, so you can shortcut. That way you don't got to go all the way to the end and make a turn. You could just shortcut for over there, so that's pretty cool. I forgot what other neighborhood in Queens that I saw, but I think that's pretty interesting, and I think it's like a genius idea. This over here is another street around here, Skillman Avenue. It goes all the way to the end, and it kind of gives you like a vibe of a small town, even though we're in Queens, New York. But yeah, you can see it, you know, the bike lane here is so organized. It's quiet because today is Sunday, but they got like restaurants over here. They got, you know, business, shops and stuff. So I'm gonna walk probably a couple more blocks over that way, and then I'm gonna make my left and show you the other side of the neighborhood for like how clean the streets is. Like I say, over there you can see the business, $99 store. Some of them they're closed because, like I say, I guess maybe because it's Sunday. You can see you can ride your bike over here, and then the beautiful architecture turns over this way. I'm gonna walk, like I say, a few more blocks, and it turns really beautiful, and the trees and everything covers up with the street. But a couple of nice restaurants over here too, so it's really cool. And then even where you see the business, even like the second floor is beautiful, like the architecture, you know, how it has a triangle and everything. It's pretty cool, but like I say, the street is really quiet, so it kind of makes me feel like if I'm outside the city, like in Long Island or some town in Jersey, but this is New York City. You see one of the streets here covered with trees, and then Skillman Avenue. And there's also like a restaurant, I guess a bar, and there's more over here happening. So I wonder how the nightlife is over here. But yeah, this is a really cool street. And I know I said this many times in different neighborhoods, but I think this is gonna be add up to my list too, that this could be another neighborhood where I can see myself living. Why? Because it's like, you know, residential, it's quiet, and at the same time, the subway train is not far from over here. And within 15 minutes, I'm in Manhattan. And then I could transfer to another line and be in another borough. So the fact that I'm close to the city, but I can get like a residential vibe, you know, you can't really beat that. So I think it's pretty interesting and pretty cool. And there you see the street. It just looks pretty crazy to see how empty it is. Kind of reminds me of the pandemic. But yeah, this is beautiful, but I gotta say it's really hot today. Not hot like it was like 2 days ago, but New York is going for a little record of almost 10 years, passing 7 days straight over 90 degrees. So we're going for a heat wave. But somehow, you know, we managed to survive it. So that's the thing about here, you know, we always get the 4 seasons, extremely hot weather and extremely cold weather. And another thing I like to show in the neighborhoods that I go, it's like the brand new development with the old architecture. You can see this old building over here, but then they pop up like this, new buildings. Then in some places, some apartments that say it says for sale. But you can see the difference of this architecture over here. So here's 43rd Avenue too. Another main avenue, and it has this restaurants and shops. Like I say, it's pretty empty too, but I'm gonna cross it. But I like how developed the streets are. And bike friendly over here, you can see. But now I'm gonna make it by the subway line and go to the other side of the tracks to show you the different style of neighborhood, which is Sunnyside. I'm passing under the subway train, the 7 line. Not sure if you can hear me, it's a little bit windy, but underneath the train is a parking lot. Not sure if it's for the commuters. But I'm gonna go to 46th Street, Bliss Street, and that's where one of the main streets is, so it's like a different vibe. So you'll see one of the main icons of the neighborhood, and mostly when you Google the neighborhood, you're gonna see what usually pops up. It even has like a main sign of the neighborhood and the whole strip with stores and shops. So I'm gonna show you guys. So this is 46th Street here in Bliss. And here you got the main sign of Sunnyside, and then it's gonna be like a main street. So here I'm gonna walk a little bit and show you a little bit what the neighborhood has to offer. And you can see how different this side is from the other side. But here you got like a lot of shops and restaurants. But like I said, I'm doing it in the Sunday, so you don't see really much of a crowd. But I walk around here during the weekdays and there'll be a lot of people. And then, like I say, every neighborhood in New York City has a market that I like walking around. And then it will merge with another main street. And then from 46th Street, this over here is Greenpoint, which is another main street. And like I say, not much going on over here today. But I'm loving it so far, so I'll show you like a 360 view of what's going on. Then you can see the residential buildings over there. And there's a couple of food trucks. So like I say, this neighborhood has it all, but it's like a little bit more peaceful than other neighborhoods around New York City. So that's why I say it could be a place where I can live, because I'm really close to Manhattan. I remember years ago, I walked around here and I ate in a Dominican restaurant with this. It was like a hole in the wall. Like you would walk in, you would see the chef and everything, and a little small, but the food was really good. So I don't know if it's still there, but I'm gonna see if I find it. But meanwhile, I'm just gonna keep exploring the area a little bit more. Now here you can see how it merges with 47th Avenue, then 44th Street, and Greenpoint. So it's like a lot of streets getting together in one, so like a crossover. As you guys know, one thing I like is street art, and here you can see one by Pediatrics. Got like flowers and stuff here, really beautiful, and I like the way how they put a lot of work, a lot of effort in the street art. So really beautiful here, really cool. And you can see everything of this beautiful neighborhood. Like I say, over this side is a different vibe from the other side that I started. So I guess the other side is more like a little bit in the higher price range side. And like, you know, it's pretty much like a suburb feel. But then over here, you know, you're in the city, but it's still quiet, you know, it's still nice. And then if you go like to places like Astoria, they got buildings just like this. And like between, they got their own space, so pretty nice, you know. And I walk around all this area, so I think it's pretty cool. So I think I walked pretty much the beautiful neighborhood of Sunnyside and Queens. So I think this is the perfect moment for me to end the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for more. Be safe out there, everybody. God bless y'all, and peace.